It doesn't get any better than this in the ACC. Undefeated NC State taking on number 13 Virginia Tech. It's only January, but these two could meet again in March with a lot more on the line. A lot of eyes will be on Liz Kitley this afternoon. She's the ACC's all-time leader in rebounds. But can she and the Hokies do what no one has been able to do this season and beat the Wolfpack? The best formula to doing that? Maybe it's slowing down Sanaya Rivers. She's one of 6 players averaging double figures for NC State. This game has all the ingredients for a heavyweight matchup. Nothing But Net starts right now. Welcome into a brand new edition of Nothing But Net. I'm Justin Walters. ACC legend Ivory Latta. First full Sunday of action. A lot of things excited to be about. But NC State, Virginia Tech, does it get any better than that?
It doesn't. It is Sunday Fun Day. You know, we're here to see the great hoops. Like you said, NC State, Virginia Tech, great players on each side. I'm really excited to get this day going.
We've been having this game marked off on our calendar for so long. The day has come, but that is not the only big matchup on the horizon today. 14 teams in action. Let's take a look at today's full slate of ACC games. 5 of the league's 6 ranked teams are in action, but let's focus in on the top 15 matchup coming up on our network, which could be a preview of things to come in Greensboro in early March. You know, the last 4 ACC titles have run through Raleigh and Blacksburg. The Wolfpack became just the 5th team in ACC women's basketball history to win 3 consecutive ACC titles from 2020 to 2022. And last year, the Hokies won their first ever ACC title. Virginia Tech has been dominating from deep. The Hokies are knocking down 10 3-pointers per game and lead the league in 3-point field goal percentage, converting over 38% of their attempts from beyond the arc. In what will be just their 15th game of the season, the Wolfpack are seeking their 4th top 25 win of the season. Westmore's squad already boasts 2 top 5 wins this season after defeating number 2 UConn, number 3 Colorado, and last Thursday the Wolfpack took down number 22 Florida State in overtime. The keys to this matchup on both sides are going to be intriguing. Let's start off first on Virginia Tech, what they need to do to pull out a W.
Virginia Tech got to really take advantage of the inside game. You know, with Rivers out, you really have to attack them. You know, really start with Liz Kitley. Get her the ball early. Let her get comfortable. And she's a great passer, great scorer, and she can get the game going. But also, when you got a great guard like Georgia Amore, man, you got to set screens for her, let her create her shot, create for her teammates. And, I mean, she's the best of the best.
You know, Virginia Tech did win the series with ease last year. They swept it out, so maybe some revenge possibly brewing.
Oh, absolutely. NC State should be going into this game with a chip on their shoulder for sure. You know, getting swept last year, you know, you're doing great this year with the team that you have. Everybody is playing together. They're out there having fun, but at the same time, they can also take advantage of putting Kitley in those ball screens, attack that outside hip, try to get her in foul trouble and see how the game goes.
Let's shine a light more on how NC State has been able to get here, because remember, they started the season off projected 8th to finish in the ACC standings. NC State, though, continues to be the class of the conference this year, 14-0 for the 4th time in program history and the 3rd time in the last 6 seasons. So very simply, how did they get here?
You know what? You really have to give credit to Westmore and how he got this group just playing together. You know, everybody's going out there not caring who scores the most points. It's all about getting that team win, the cohesiveness that they have out there on the court, and everybody just playing for each other. It's a sisterhood. When you're out there playing, you enjoy it, and, you know, you just really don't care. But Westmore definitely got these young ladies playing great.
As a former player, how intriguing or even rare is it to see 6 players averaging double figures?
Very rare in the women's game at that, you know, because sometimes you have 1 or 2 stars on the team, and then you have, you know, other players that, you know, come in and pick up or, you know, give their energy. But when you have 6 players, it speaks a lot about a team, a coach, and their whole environment and that they're building over there at NC State, and it is beautiful to watch. Yeah,
there is something important to note, though, with this game, because last time we saw NC State overtime win against Florida State, and River Baldwin, she had a stellar performance versus her former team, notching 21 points, 8 rebounds, drawing 5 charges in 27 minutes before she left the contest in an ankle injury. For more on her status on today's game, let's head to Blacksburg, Virginia, and welcome in our very own Kelly Gramlich. Kelly, appreciate you making the time. We've been speaking about this game all day. I know everyone is excited for this matchup, so please share the status with us about River Baldwin.
Well, River Baldwin, as you guys mentioned, played so well against Florida State. She is out today with a right ankle injury. She's here with NC State, has her foot in a boot, and is walking with one crutch. So out indefinitely for now and definitely out in this game. So you will see a lot of Mimi Collins starting at the 5 for NC State, and freshman phenom Zoe Brooks, who's going to be in the starting lineup today. Williamson and Collier off the bench to help with that load inside, but no River Baldwin today in Blacksburg.
Yeah, on the other side, Liz Kitley and Georgia Amore. What can you say about that dynamic duo? They have been star-studded. What allows them both to thrive in this offense?
Well, the best duo in the ACC and one of the best duos in the country. What allows them to thrive is that they have different strengths. Georgia Amore is great at getting to the rim, can shoot the three, but also leads the ACC in assists and is top 5 nationally. And then, of course, Liz Kitley, dominant inside, has one of the best fadeaways in the game, also a great free throw shooter, but both are very willing passers. So they have great chemistry. They're roommates. They've played together for a very long time, and that great chemistry leads to one of the best duos in the country.
Kelly, I'd love to know a player from each side that needs to step up today and have a big game for their team. So we know that Rivers out. Start off with NC State. Who needs to step up in her place?
Well, it's another River, if you will, in Sanaya Rivers. NC State has to be disruptive defensively with this Virginia Tech team, as you guys were talking about, how well they shoot the three. So they have to be disruptive. I think that starts with Sanaya Rivers leading the way defensively. And then for Virginia Tech, I'm going to go with Matilda Eck. They need a third player outside of that duo to step up. Eck has been shooting 38% from 3. She hit 7 threes in a game earlier against Rutgers. So she is an X factor for this team. They need Eck in double figures, the Hokies do, for them to win this game at home. But guys, it's going to be a great one. They were lining up outside of the arena when I arrived here at about 10:20 a.m. This place is already packed, and I can't wait.
Oh, Kelly, we have all the goosebumps. Ivory here is doing this with her hands because she's so excited. You have the best seat in the house. Good luck on today's call. We cannot wait to see how it all unfolds.
And Justin, good luck with my girl Ivory. Keep her in line. Let her dance a little bit. That she gives better analysis when she can get some dance moves going.
Would love to see it. We're going to work on that two-step, Ivory. Thursday night following the Miami at Virginia Tech women's basketball game on the ACC Network. Be sure to tune in. Nothing but net crew. Kelsey Riggs, Muffin McGraw, Kelly Gramlich, and Mrs. Ivory Latta. Break down the day's slate and look ahead at the best matchups on the schedule in the coming week. That's coverage you can only find in one place, right here on the ACC Network and the ESPN app. Just 12 minutes away from tip-off, Georgia Amore. She's getting set for today's top 15 matchup. Don't leave for Oprah from outside. She's a bucket. The senior's been fantastic this year, but she's just part of the Hokies' dynamic duo.
Elizabeth Kitley, Georgia Amore, they've been the foundation. That's why we're so tough to beat.
Little bestie connection right there.
These two have great chemistry with one another. They're roommates as well.
We know where each other likes to get the ball because we've practiced it a lot. That has a lot to do with Coach Brooks. In the offseason, he'll work us out together.
Liz is probably our best player, but Georgia's our most important.
Liz is just so intense and competitive. She's very calm and mellow off the court, but then as soon as she's on the court, it switches.
Kitley on the feed from Amore.
The inside-out combination really had it going tonight.
You developed this special chemistry and connection. How have you done it? I'm just so funny.
The amount of space that she can create from a step back is insane.
That is the cleanest step back.
I've just been able to learn where she's coming from, the passing that she has.
They just love each other. They just want to win.
We have to put in the work every day to fend off challengers, people who want to knock us off.
And I don't want this to be the peak of the season. This is a starting point. We got a long way to go.
You know, managing expectations from a team that went to a Final Four, everyone's going to talk about it, but the only expectations that we really care about are the one within our building.
Here at NC State, we got the same goals every year. I mean, we're trying to compete for an ACC championship, Final Four, and it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks or says. We've got to believe that, or we're already beat.
Both of those teams certainly have an opportunity to make a deep run. And Georgia Amore, one of the leaders of Virginia Tech. She is a walking bucket, back-to-back 20-point games for the Hokies. They're going to need a lot more from her today in this coveted matchup. let's take a deeper dive into the tape because I know you love the way that Georgia is able to play.
Super excited, man. I mean, great player, great point guard. In this clip right here, she crosses over, creates space. She could have took the layup, but what she did was she kept her eye on Kitley. And when you, as a guard, you put your eye on Kitley, her defense relaxed, reverse layup, tough layup with the right hand, right foot. In this clip, she beat the hedge. But the great thing about her, everybody knows she can shoot, but also she can pass the ball. And this was the hardest pass to make as a small point guard and also get the ball right into the shooter's pocket. 3! And this is the elite play I've ever seen right here. She bounces the ball with her left as her momentum is going left, catches the ball with her right, holds the follow through like she's in love and basketball, and the 3 goes in.
It's just too easy for her like that.
Yeah, it's too easy, but it's easy for her because you can tell the workouts that she put in the offseason are showing right now. You know, with her, I'm seeing more of a separation coming off those screens, and she didn't have that last year, so she's adding more stuff to her bag.
Who else needs to step up on this Virginia Tech? We're always going to throw a lot of love to Kitley in addition to Amore. Who else needs to shine bright in this matchup?
It has to be Kayla King. She has to step up. I mean, she's capable. She's also another great player that can shoot the ball, but also go out there and guard as well. So, you know, a lot of the teams, they do focus on, you know, Kitley and Amore. But King has to go in this game with the confidence as is. She is the best shooter out there, and whatever defensive stop that they need for her to make, that she'll make it.
As a former guard, you see the way that Amore plays from the outside. How do you slow down their shooting from the outside?
Oh man, run them off the line. You know, with a team like this that is hot and they shoot threes, and you know they shoot threes, run them off the line. But you have to play aggressive defense. You cannot let them just throw the ball around the arc and let them get comfortable. Virginia Tech is a team where they thrive off, hey, you're gonna let us do this, you're gonna let us run our sets, then guess what? We're gonna beat you down. Make them feel uncomfortable. Get in the passing lanes. Get deflections and things like that.
So no River Baldwin. Kitley, how are you going to be able to slow her down, if at all? What matchup needs to determine that? Who are you going to put on her?
Oh, I mean, hey, the next woman up, you know, put 2 of them on them. Like I said, you're going to have to make her uncomfortable. You know, when she gets the ball down low, throw some double teams at her, you know, make her kick the ball out. Sometimes you do have to live and die by the 3. But when you let Kitley get comfortable, that double-double is going to be easy. It may even happen in the first half, you know, with a player like that who has a great nose for the game. And another thing is you have to keep her off the boards. You know, when she misses her shots, she's known for going right back, getting it with the putback. So make her feel uncomfortable, push her off the block, but also on a defensive end, bring her off the block, put her in those pick and rolls, and, you know, try to get her in foul trouble.
Could Mimi Collins be a person that steps up to the challenge with physicality?
Yes, absolutely. And NC State is definitely, you know, expecting Mimi Collins to do that. But what I really like about her, too, they run a play at the top of the key where they run a flare for Mimi Collins to shoot the 3, because she also can shoot the 3 as well. So that's another great thing when they bring Kitley out on the 3-point line. It can also open up for the guards in their driving lanes, because Kitley not there to get the block and the defensive stop. So, yeah, Mimi Collins, hey, she's going to have to step up. Next woman up, baby.
Next woman up. We spoke about it earlier in the show. Look at these stats for NC State. 6 players averaging double figures in scoring. Everyone has been explosive. They're not just a one-trick pony. Isaiah James is one of those players. What do you like about her?
She is special. She is special with the basketball. I mean, her scoring ability. She's playing in the passing lanes. She also brings that energy to the team as well. You know, she's one of those players that now, you know, last year they didn't look as if she was a threat. She worked her butt off in the offseason to get where she at today, and to be the leading scorer of that team, it speaks volumes of her as a person.
When you have a kind of matchup that is going to have a bunch of stars on both sides, and you have someone like James, and you're playing this kind of game, is this something that you look forward to? It's like, okay, we have another top 25 showdown. Let me try to prove myself and remind you guys, hey, I'm not the player I was last year.
Yeah, you do try to prove yourself, but at the same time, when your team is playing well as a team, you just try to make sure you let the game come to you. Sometimes, and even when I played, I would always get so hyped up because this is going to be a great game, and the atmosphere. Oh my God, look at that atmosphere. Are you kidding me? Who would want to get excited about a game like that for a player? You allow the game to come to you. Don't do too much. Do what you do and know that your team will be successful at the end.
So I know that you love the way that Sanaya plays. Obviously, no Baldwin in this matchup. Sanaya, does she also have to be patient knowing that they're shorthanded?
The key word that you just said is patient. And that's what she's been showing this whole season as, being a point guard. She's not your traditional point guard. She's known for playing it too. She had to step in that role to be the point guard, and you got to have patience. But at the same time, she's going to be that defensive stopper. And I think they need to put her on more to show that her length, her size, but also show other defenses. But she also has to attack the basket as well.
So let's speak about some over or unders, because NC State, at least 40 field goal shooting percentage. Do you see it over or under for this matchup?
I see them going over 40% today. I see a lot of the guards attacking the basket. I see them knocking down their three-pointers, them out there getting comfortable and just having a good time.
I know you love to shoot as a former guard. So over or under 9.5 made 3-point shots for Virginia Tech.
Oh man, I think I'm gonna get a little lack for this. I said under 9 3-pointers because NC State defense, they don't allow that many three-pointers shot on them during the season. So I will definitely say under 9 3-pointers.
Okay,
sure.
And you said one of the keys is to make sure they run them off the line.
Absolutely. Got to run them off the line and make them shoot twos.
All right, Georgia A. Moore.
Oh, yeah.
19.5 points, over or under?
We're going to go over 19.5. I mean, Georgia A. Moore, the best guard right now in the ACC, stellar guard. I mean, smart, exciting to watch, and yeah, she's definitely going to go over 19 points easily tonight.
I know you're getting all the goosebumps. We wish we were at the game.
Yes.
Ooh, two of the very best in the country, NC State, Virginia Tech. Jen Hildreth and Kelly Gramlich are on the call. Cannot wait. ACC at its best.
Look at this atmosphere. Blacksburg, Virginia. Yeah, it is where you want to be on a Sunday. One of the best matchups of the season in ACC women's basketball coming your way. Third-ranked, unbeaten NC State trying to storm the Cassell here at Cassell Coliseum, taking on 13th-ranked Virginia Tech. And how lucky are we? Jen Hildreth, Kelly Gramlich, best seats in the house. We're going to bring you some good seats, too, for this one, Kelly, because these two teams, you could be looking at one of the two who will be hoisting that trophy come the end of the season.
That's right. The last 4 ACC titles have gone through Raleigh and right here in Blacksburg, Virginia. These are two of the best teams in the country. And, Jen, we have a great crowd for this one.
Yeah, and a great matchup as well, although you do wonder how this changes not having River Baldwin and that inside presence for NC State.
It's going to be a big difference maker here. No River Baldwin. Mimi Collins starting at the 5. Freshman Zoe Brooks starting for NC State as well.
Cantner will toss it up, and we are underway from Blacksburg. The NC State Wolfpack, one of 5 remaining unbeaten teams in the country, putting that record on the line here in Blacksburg. The Hokies swept the Wolfpack in both regular season meetings last year. First attempt, Sanaya Rivers cannot get it to go. Here comes Georgia A. Moore. Kayla King lines up the 3. Zoe Brooks inserted into the starting lineup, looking inside for Mimi Collins on the break.
Great pass from Zoe Brooks. She does not look like a freshman. Getting the start today. Already has a triple-double under her belt this season.
Regular starting 5 for Virginia Tech. Matilda Eck, Rose Misha, Kayla King joining one of the best duos in the country. Liz Kitley, Georgia A. Moore. Eck pulls up for the shot and gets the points.
Eck has to be able to put the ball on the floor because NC State specifically is going to try to run her off the 3-point line. So a very good job by her to adjust.
There's your starting 5 for NC State. As you mentioned, no River Baldwin. Hurt her right ankle toward the end of the third quarter in that overtime win against Florida State on Thursday. Out indefinitely for the Wolfpack. How about that move? Got a little whoop from you.
It did, but then Georgia A. Moore got her hand in there and maybe gave Zoe Brooks a little bit of a stare, said, look, I'm the veteran here. This is my arena.
My house.
But I love what I've seen from Brooks so far, not being afraid at all.
There are those familiar starters. The Hokies almost the same starting 5, and every game so far this season. Virginia Tech coming in 11-2. Both of these teams 2-0 in conference play. Off goes Amor. Usually that one rolls on in. Brooks, open lane to the basket. She'll take it with the left.
Nobody picked up Zoe Brooks. She got the rebound, and nobody even tried to guard her till she was inside the three-point line. That cannot happen for Virginia Tech in transition defense.
Amor. Free throw line. Rattles out. Madison Hayes pulls down the rebound for the Wolfpack. Isaiah James, leading scorer for NC State on the season, averaging 15.7, top 10 in the ACC. How's that for her first two?
My goodness, Isaiah James. Took it left. She is a lefty, but then hung under the rim to finish on the opposite side. Wow.
Pretty emphatic start for NC State here on the road in this packed house, Cassell Coliseum. Amor for three. She's been a little off to start with her shot.
And there's a double on Kitley. First time Kitley touched the ball, they doubled her inside.
No surprise there. Rarely, if ever, does Liz Kitley, the two-time ACC Player of the Year, get single coverage. This is going to be a foul called on James.
Blocking foul on James, but here on the other end, going left, hanging in the air. Jen, did she even see the rim? She saw it barely at the end, but Isaiah James, you mentioned, NC State's leading scorer, has increased her scoring average by nearly 9 points per game, also shooting so much better from three.
King ready and waiting. Hokies a little off, best three-point shooting team in the ACC. 6 points in the paint for the Wolfpack so far. Mimi Collins looking to add a couple more. Can't. Rebound for the ACC's leading rebounder, Liz Kitley.
NC State is going to try to attack Liz Kitley with Mimi Collins on the perimeter, trying to get her in foul trouble. That was a good job by Kitley to play defense without fouling.
Foul called in the paint. Westmore's NC State Wolfpack team coming in here with that unbeaten record. Suffered 2 losses to Virginia Tech last year, but this has been a good series here as of late between these two. And Wes really appreciating the challenge he knows he's going to get from Kenny Brooks' teams.
It's been a great series, and by the way, that was the second foul on Isaiah James. That's a game changer for NC State with their leading scorer now on the bench. And Virginia Tech's leading scorer gets going right there as Liz Kitley gets her first points.
Now Lacey Steele with the ball in her hands here into the game. And James going to the bench for those 2 early fouls. Collins has really been shooting it well. Big rebound pulled down by Hayes. Collins given another open look. And interesting that it is Kitley who's got to come out and guard Mimi Collins on the three-point line.
Mimi Collins starting in place of River Baldwin. So Kitley is going to be drawn out. They're going to try to use Collins' quickness. And that time Collins settled for threes.
Good quick turnaround. That is money in the bank.
Virginia Tech loves the back screen to get Liz Kitley an open look. And to me, Liz Kitley is the best shooting post player in the country.
Sanaya Rivers to Steele. Her three is good.
Lacey Steele, a true freshman coming off the bench here for NC State. Impressive to knock down her first attempt.
Freshmen are going to have to help pick up some of that slack with River Baldwin on the bench for NC State. Here goes Kitley. Steele with the rebound. Freshman out of Edmond, Oklahoma, has appeared in every game off the bench so far for NC State. Rivers. Smooth.
Smooth for sure from Sanaya Rivers. Remember, she had that 33-point game against UConn in November when the Pack took down the Huskies.
Yeah, 33 and 10, by the way. Her first career double-double with the 10 rebounds. Travel called. But the NC State Wolfpack off to a great start. A 6-0 run, and they lead it by 6 here in Blacksburg. ACC Women's College Basketball is brought to you by Ally. Whatever you're saving for, we're all better off with an Ally. Good stuff all around here at Cassell Coliseum today. What a quick start for both these teams, particularly NC State. But Kelly, I know you're interested in how much the three ball is going to have a presence in this game.
You look at Virginia Tech's numbers, they are one of the best three-point shooting teams in the country, make over 10 per game. They're 0 for 3 so far. NC State is very good at guarding the three. I feel like NC State's done a good job so far. Of course, Virginia Tech's shots aren't falling, but that length of NC State defensively on the perimeter is a big advantage for the Pack.
Amore and King both in the top 5 all-time in terms of three-pointers made in Virginia Tech history. Olivia Summiel into the game there for Virginia Tech, commits the foul on Madison Hayes as she drives to the basket.
That's the first personal foul. First team foul. To the line.
Madison Hayes, senior out of Chattanooga, Tennessee, her third year with the Wolfpack after transferring from Mississippi State, averages 11 points per game. Shooting, Kelly, nearly 43% from 3 this season.
She's having a very good year for NC State. Is a transfer, but this is her third year with the Pack, so she knows Wes Moore's system very well.
Hokies trailing the third-ranked Wolfpack. Amore, can she get one to fall? You betcha!
You know who's going to keep shooting? Georgia Amore. She's never going to stop shooting. Got a good look there, and maybe that will get Virginia Tech going offensively.
Amore 0 for her first 3. Now has her first points in the game. Lacey Steele in for Isaiah James, who picked up 2 quick fouls. Of course, NC State also without River Baldwin in this game. Sanaya Rivers, she's going to have to step up her production. Was out 3 games, came back for the conference opener at Virginia. Have we seen enough Kitley yet? Short on the turnaround.
Kitley's fadeaway is so good that I understand why she's going to it, but she has such a size advantage on Mimi Collins. I'd love to see a shot fake and attack the rim at least a few times from Kitley early in this game.
Steele knocked one down already. Make it 2 from the same spot. A sharpshooter out of Oklahoma was the Oklahoma Gatorade Player of the Year, back-to-back state champion out of Edmond, Oklahoma.
The moment does not look too big for Lacey Steele. Very important minutes for her right now with Isaiah James on the bench.
One of the questions for this Virginia Tech team as the shot clock gets to 5 is who else is going to help Kitley and Amore? They do an awful lot on their own, but can they get enough from their supporting cast? That will certainly be something we look at throughout this one. And we've got more women's basketball coming your way today. Quadruple header on ACC Network. Georgia Tech and Pitt coming up at 2. And then Florida State going to Clemson. You do not want to miss the Tanaya Latson show. She has simply had 3 30-point games to start off ACC play. And then at 6 p.m., Boston College, Syracuse. Madison Hayes, and the three-point barrage continues. Well, we're seeing some threes go down, but it's for the Wolfpack, not the Hokies.
NC State does shoot about 34% on the year, so they're very capable, but NC State beating Virginia Tech at their own game right now.
Carly Wenzel on the floor for the Hokies, gets it inside to Kitley, who is fouled.
NC State foul for 2, Mimi Collins.
First foul against Mimi Collins. So let's talk Kitley a little bit, because you just started to get into it, Kelly, in terms of what you'd like to see from her, because you feel like Virginia Tech should have an advantage with her in the paint, especially without Riverball.
Definitely, and she just got 1 foul on Mimi Collins there. If you get a second foul on Collins, you change the game. So I think next time Liz Kitley touches the ball inside, she's got to give a pump fake, she's got to get to the rim, or at least put the ball on the floor, make Mimi Collins move. It's tough for her, Jen, because her jumper is so smooth. She is, to me, the best jump shooting post player in the nation. But at this point, and I know Mimi Collins just was subbed out because Wes Moore is understanding the situation, you still got to be aggressive and attack these post players because of their lack of depth for NC State.
Mallory Collier into the game now. Place of Collins. Steele.
Lucky break for the Hokies. Steele had just hit 2. You cannot give her an open look there.
You saw some of those incredible numbers for Liz Kitley while she was shooting the free throws. 6 points in the game today. King. He's lost it out of bounds, but I really love what Kenny Brooks had to say about Liz Kitley. He said, I tell Hokie Nation all the time, don't get bored with her greatness. We almost take for granted, don't we, that she's going to put up 20 and 10 every night.
She had 27 and 12 at Wake Forest on Thursday, and no one's surprised at all. It's just kind of, oh, ho-hum, that's what Liz Kitley does, but we cannot take that for granted. She's just had an incredible career and continues to build on it.
High aspirations for this year as well for this entire Virginia Tech team, coming off their first Final Four a year ago. Creeping back, trying to anyway in this one. Wenzel to the basket.
I like that attack from Wenzel. Georgia Amore.
Spinning through the air, taking it away. You think this crowd loves them some Georgia Amore?
Jen, when I walked in the gym, I saw two little girls who were here an hour and a half before the game. And I said, who's your favorite player? And they said Georgia, of course.
Well, I thought Kitley would probably get a lot of votes, but that's no surprise. There's Liz Kitley. 8 in the game now for the two-time ACC Player of the Year. Virginia Tech, this is the most points the Hokies have allowed in the first quarter all season, but they are climbing back into this one. Down 6 now, Zoe Brooks.
The crowd getting into it. Virginia Tech gonna try to hold the ball here, get a decent look. Virginia Tech also went to zone on that last possession, Jen. Let's keep an eye on that in the second quarter.
About a 3-second difference, shot clock and game clock. First quarter about to unwind here at Virginia Tech. Amore showing off all the moves, setting up Kitley. Zoe Brooks will take it herself at the buzzer. What a first quarter. Virginia Tech trailing NC State 19-13. Three-pointers going down for the Wolfpack.
Every player on the roster matters. Freshman Lacey Steele coming in for Isaiah James, who's in foul trouble and has made her presence known. 2 made threes. Her threes are the difference in this first quarter. Total.
One quarter in the books here in Blacksburg, Virginia. Third-ranked NC State leading Virginia Tech by 6. And let's get this number updated because we are now down to 4 remaining unbeaten teams in Division I, including, Kelly, this very well-balanced NC State team.
And they have some great wins. They've played a top 5 schedule in the country. They've beaten Colorado. They've beaten UConn. They just beat number 22 Florida State. So they have been tested, and they are still undefeated. Virginia Tech trying to spoil that, Jen.
Yeah, NC State 3-0 against the top 25. Virginia Tech, meanwhile, looking for their first win against a ranked opponent. And what a way to start the second quarter. Karis Baker, welcome to the game.
How about these freshmen? You had Lacey Steele hitting 2 big threes for NC State. Now Karis Baker, a big 3 for the Hokies. And the Hokies still in that zone, Jen, right now, trying to be active, big hands, trying to guard the 3 better in that 2-3 zone.
Yeah, because NC State had really started to shoot it well. After 6 points in the paint early, they started knocking down the threes, 4 of 11 from 3 with the Wolfpack in that first quarter. But when you talk about balance, I mean, this is unreal that they have 6 players, Kelly, in double figures.
One of 2 teams in the nation to have that number. The other one is LSU. They have incredible balance. Of course, River Baldwin out today, so other players have to step up.
And NC State unable to get it in. You could feel this crowd ready to explode if it's a tip and a steal from Georgia Amore in the first quarter. This time, a good defensive possession. See what the Hokies can do with it. Wolfpack have missed their last 5, so maybe that zone is working out for Virginia Tech.
I know that was a miss there, but I'm not sure there's a better passer than Georgia Amore in the country, especially attacking the paint and kicking out to 3-point shooters. She's so good at that.
Why is that? What it is about her that makes her so good?
It's her vision, first of all, but also, and I think that ball was tipped. I'm surprised they called it NC State ball.
Well, that's what Kenny Brooks was calling for initially, was that it was tipped.
they can't review that unless Kenny Brooks were to challenge it. But yeah, I definitely thought that was tipped. With Amor, though, it's her speed, her vision, and she also has a great ability to kind of hang in the air while passing. You don't generally advise that if you're coaching fundamentals, but it's Georgia Amor, and she just kind of defies logic.
Now this could be important. Mimi Collins just picked up her second foul on this play for NC State. Isaiah James already has 2 for the Wolfpack. And this one just going after a rebound.
That's massive, Jen. 2 of NC State's starters have 2 fouls, and we'll see how NC State handles it if they bring one of those young players off the bench for Mimi Collins.
Kitley working on Collins with those 2 fouls. Here is Georgia Amor. Baker open for 3. Knocks it down!
Okay, freshman. Okay, Karis Baker. Dad was a 4-time NBA All-Star. She says, I'm not afraid of this moment.
Tie game at 19. And a travel as Maddie Cox drags her foot.
Karis Baker has come off the bench for Virginia Tech and has hit 2 threes to start this second quarter. She has gotten the crowd back into this game.
Her dad, Vin, in the Hartford Hall of Fame, 15 years in the NBA, showing off a stroke of her own. A couple of triples early. That's a little hoop scoop with Vin Baker.
Her mom also played at Hartford, so she is the daughter of 2 basketball student athletes. I'm not sure she had a choice as to which sport she was going to end up playing.
Oh, Kelly, you always give the choice. You just give a little nudge onto the basketball court.
Just a little nudge in the right direction.
Mimi Collins going to come to the bench now for NC State. Lizzie Williamson, the 6'5", grad transfer from Southern Utah, into the game.
It feels like right now this is where NC State is missing River Baldwin, who is out with a right ankle injury. She was incredible last game, had 21 and 8, and they're bringing in some in 3 quarters. They're bringing in some young players that just don't have the presence of River Baldwin inside.
These are the moments NC State's going to have to manage if they want to get out of here unscathed. Can they handle playing with some of their other big-time players on the bench? Mimi Collins, Isaiah James. This was the moment right toward the end of the third quarter on Thursday night that took River Baldwin out.
We thought it was a knee. Turned out to be her right ankle, which I think is good news, actually. But she's out indefinitely.
Wolfpack have gone cold. Jump ball. And, you know, you talked to Wes Moore, and he had talked about how well River had been playing this season. I mean, really looked like almost a different player in her second year with the Wolfpack after transferring from Florida State. She gave them that inside presence, Kelly, that really allowed their guards to do what they do, right?
She's an X factor for them. The way she was rebounding it, taking 5 charges against Florida State. She's a former McDonald's All-American, always had the talent, but in her 5th year was really thriving in Wes Moore's system.
Sanaya Rivers with 3 on the shot clock. Puts Wolfpack back out in front. 5 in the game for Sanaya.
With all this youth on the floor, I think Sanaya Rivers has to take over and have the ball in her hand a lot on offense.
Kitley. You know, Kenny Brooks talked to us about wanting Kitley to just read the game a little faster. He said she's an avid reader. He wants her to skim, not read every word so deeply, right? But does it feel a little rushed at times?
Well, it's tough because she has to go fast because the double team is always coming. That time, NC State didn't double her, and I think for Liz Kitley, it sometimes is a shock when she doesn't get doubled. She can take more time, take a dribble, try to attack the rim, but NC State's doing a good job of mixing up when they're doubling Kitley.
Kitley, 8.7 rebounds in the game already. And good hands from Hayes to take it away for NC State. Madison Hayes all the way for 2.
Madison Hayes kind of lulled Virginia Tech to sleep. Kitley made a pass. That's routine. but Madison Hayes was there. Great play.
Virginia Tech coming off their first ever ACC tournament championship a year ago, picked to win it again this year. NC State finished 8th last year, picked 8th. Much lower than we're typically used to seeing the Wolfpack. 4 on the shot clock. Still won't go for Amor. She just has to laugh after that one. Not getting any of those friendly rolls she should be used to at home. Williamson.
Virginia Tech has to take more advantage right now. No Mimi Collins, no Isaiah James. They will be back in the second half. They're slowing it up now, but I would go, Jen. This is the time where you've got to be able to create an advantage with those 2 players out.
Kitley. Far away from the basket. That's a good thing if you're NC State. Now she works her way closer. 3 to shoot for Kitley. Double team is there and does its job. Jump ball to call. It'll stay with Virginia Tech. They'll have 2 seconds on the shot clock to work with when we come back. Hokies trailing the Wolfpack by 4.
NC State has done such a good job on Liz Kitley defensively. On this play, first of all, Liz Kitley should not be catching it that high. That's a tough spot for her. Secondly, NC State doubles on the dribble. They bring Hayes, then Sanaya Rivers, who ties up Liz Kitley. So they don't double right away. They wait for Liz Kitley to take a dribble, and then they double. They're switching up when they're doubling Kitley. It's very difficult for Kitley to read what they're going to do when they play her like that.
Eck off the inbounds, had 2 seconds. That was all she needed. And those are the first points that Virginia Tech, Kelly, has scored in the paint all day.
Unbelievable. And that was great execution by Virginia Tech. Going to Eck, she had a mismatch inside, knowing she had to shoot it quickly.
2-point lead for the Wolfpack. Still no Isaiah James, leading scorer for NC State, but this freshman Lacey Steele has hit a couple of threes off the bench.
And Virginia Tech right now giving Liz Kitley a breather. They have freshman Clara Strack in at the 5.
Eck, transfer from Michigan State. It's it over to Baker. Benches for both teams may well have a big say in how things go today. Hayes, yes! Another 3 goes down. 9 points in the game for Madison Hayes.
She's been good. 9 points, 5 rebounds on just 4 shot attempts.
5th 3-point make for the Wolfpack as a team. Shot up and a little too strong. Boy, NC State rebounds the ball so well. Rebounding margin, first in the ACC. They're top 6 in the country in total rebounds. Well, we are really excited. Gymnastics is coming your way on ACC Network Friday and Saturday night at 9 Eastern. It's all part of 3 quad meets. And we're featuring the first one on Friday with North Carolina, Arizona, Boise State, and Nebraska. So you can check out all your favorite gymnastics skills, bars, beam, vault, and floor. First year officially we get to see gymnastics in the ACC. Kitley fading away.
I like that from Kitley though. She was patient. She went to see if the double was coming and then she put the ball on the floor. That's more of what I think she needs to do inside.
Zoe Brooks came down the floor with those glasses up on her forehead. Now she's got them down again. Just a little too much. Good hands defensively from Virginia Tech to disrupt that dribble and the rhythm of the freshman Zoe Brooks.
Jen, you mentioned rebounding. Virginia Tech has 1 offensive rebound in this half. They have not been able to get any second chance points. They love to shoot threes off of offensive rebounds, but NC State has shut that down. Amor to Kitley. That's how it's done. Much better positioning for Kitley. If she gets the ball that low, that deep on the block, she's going to score.
10 points for Kitley to go along with 7 rebounds. Rivers a little off on the pass. And as talented as Sanaya Rivers is, you just wonder sometimes if she feels that extra weight that she knows she needs to carry in a game like this.
She's trying to make the extra pass, make the right play. I'd love to see her attack a little more. She is so good around the rim.
ACC 6th Player of the Year a year ago in her first year with the Wolfpack. There's the double team on Kitley. Amor slicing through. Baker! There's an offensive rebound. No three to be had. Sanaya Rivers in for the block, and then there's all kinds of contact. It's going to go against the Hokies, though, the call.
Sanaya Rivers, I thought that was a clean block. She gets the block on Kayla King, and then Kayla King goes for the offensive rebound, goes over her back. Big play by Sanaya Rivers on the defensive end.
Kayla King called for the foul. Under a minute to play. I mean, this quarter has flown by 2, and there goes Sanaya Rivers to the basket.
That's what we're talking about, Jen. Get your best athlete, go into the rim, let her make a play.
Kitley, good. She's got a dozen.
Best jump shooting post player in the country.
3-point game between the two teams that have combined to win the last 4 ACC tournament titles. Virginia Tech, the defending champs. NC State had a string of 3 in a row prior to that. 7 to shoot for the unbeaten Wolfpack. Brooks, Rivers. Kitley gets herself in position for the rebound. Amor launches it up! Oh! She made it closer than most, but we've got a 3-point game at halftime. NC State leading Virginia Tech. What a first half between these two ACC heavyweights. Not a bad way to start the day as we get you back to Justin and Ivory in the studio.
Welcome into this ACC Network Halftime Report. I'm Justin Walters alongside ACC legend Ivory Latta. It's lived up to the billing so far. We know it's going to be a heavyweight matchup. Well, we saw some things we're not accustomed to, including that zone defense.
Oh, yeah. I was very surprised that Virginia Tech, turned into that zone defense, but it actually worked in their favor. NC State started taking those outside threes and, caused a lot of turnovers right here. I mean, this cannot happen, even though you got a freshman taking it out. And, NC State, trying to take those quick shots. They just have to settle down and, get the best shot and continue to move the ball a little bit more. Don't get too stagnant with that Virginia Tech defense.
Were you surprised that it caused them to have so many fits? Because it allowed Virginia Tech to go on that 10-0 run.
Yeah, I was very surprised with that. And when you take those long shots, they come with long rebounds. So Virginia Tech was able to get those rebounds and get it out and go. But I was surprised the whole time that they even went to that zone defense. But my thing is, if it's working, stay with it. Do not go back to man-to-man, because as soon as they went back to man-to-man, NC State saw it and they capitalized on it.
One of the key things we were going to look forward to is how Liz Kitley would play, especially without River Baldwin in the lineup. How are they doing on her? She started off with 8 points in the first quarter, but cooled off a little bit in that second quarter.
You know what? They did a great job in that second quarter for sure. As soon as she caught the ball, they didn't double right away. What they did was she caught it, and as soon as she put the ball down, boom, here goes the guards. And they kept pushing her off the block. That was one of the main things I said, hey, in order for NC State to be successful and not let her get so comfortable, push her off the block, make her take those tough turnaround jump shots, and that's exactly what they did.
Are you surprised the way that Amor is struggling from outside?
I am a little surprised, but at the same time, when you got Sanaya Rivers on you, who is a bigger guard, her length is definitely affecting the shot and things like that. But as a player of that caliber, whether you're struggling or not, you're going to keep shooting. And that's what our team needs for her to do in the second half for sure.
Well, we're excited to see how everything unfolds. Just one half is in the books. The second half is looking to shake up to be exciting. Let's see how everything shakes out. Still to come in the show on this halftime report. We're going to have much more, especially speaking about North Carolina, as well as how everything goes. When it comes to this game, Steele, she's been cold from the outside. Lacey Steele stepped up for Isaiah James, who was in foul trouble. NC State up by 3 after 1. Some people have talents in life, and some people also have crutches. And in this case, he's balancing a crutch on his nose and face. How do you even find out about that talent? The halftime show has been just as entertaining as the first half between NC State and Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech down by 3. But still another half to play between these two titans, NC State, Virginia Tech. Liz Kitley, she's been settling a little bit, but if you're going to leave for that open, I'm going to knock it down. Virginia Tech down by 3. We'll see what the second half has in store.
Oh, all kinds of flavor inside the arena at Cassell Coliseum today for this top 25 matchup. At the top of the ACC standings, NC State and Virginia Tech battling it out, both 2-0 in conference play. NC State unbeaten on the season so far. And in this first half, Kelly, interesting that Virginia Tech never let NC State really has found a variety of different ways to maintain this lead.
NC State is showing why they're undefeated. They have such great depth, even without River Baldwin and some foul trouble. Other players are stepping up big time for the Wolfpack.
Yeah, I think it's been impressive when you consider Isaiah James played, 3.5 minutes in that first half. So what else for Virginia Tech do the Hokies need to do a little better in the second half?
Well, they have to get Georgia Amore going, that's for sure. She only has 3 points, but has passed the ball well. But it also starts with Liz Kitley, playing through her inside and handling those double teams. We've talked about this play earlier in the game. They come and double on the dribble. Liz Kitley has nowhere to go. She's got to be quicker to pass the ball out. Here, she makes her move quickly. Sanaya Rivers comes over. Kitley hits him with a pump fake and scores easily. She's got to catch the ball deeper in the paint, and she's got to continue to try to read this NC State defense. They've done a good job, Jen, of switching things up.
12 points, 8 rebounds for Liz Kitley in the first half as we get started with quarter number 3 from Blacksburg. Isaiah James back in the game for the first time since those first 3.5 minutes, and she announces her presence with a bucket.
Jen, that is so hard to do. Isaiah James has been sitting on the bench for about 30 minutes of real time. She gets back in the game, and it's like she never left.
Amore just has been a little bit off for herself. As you mentioned, she's passing the ball well. She has 6 assists in the game, but is just 1 of 9 from the floor.
She's missed a few layups as well, and here's Isaiah James. So smooth. 1 dribble pull-up. Doesn't even look like she's been sitting for most of this game with 2 fouls. And keep an eye, Jen, on that last play. Georgia Amore got hit in the stomach. She looks like she's in a little bit of pain, so let's keep an eye on that.
Starting 5 back on the floor for NC State. Sanaya Rivers has 9 in the game. No River Baldwin for the Wolfpack today, so Zoe Brooks making her 4th start of the season. It's a 4-0 Wolfpack run to start quarter number 3. Kitley, good for 2 more.
Virginia Tech loves that play, and Westmore is livid on the sidelines because Virginia Tech's already run that play in this game and has scored, and he did not like how Mimi Collins guarded Kitley there.
Hayes hit a couple of threes in the first half. Now has another 12 in the game for Madison Hayes, including 3 triples. Kitley. Mimi Collins do the job defensively. There really were not a lot of fouls by either team in the first half. NC State had 4 team fouls, but 2 of those were on Mimi Collins. The other 2 were on Isaiah James. So that is going to be something that they need to be wary of here in the second half with a shortened bench
And Liz Kitley has to go at her. That shot that Kitley just took was way too difficult of a shot. She needs to attack the rim instead of fading away. And that time, Virginia Tech still in a zone, but a lot of miscommunication. Not sure who's guarding whom.
A really aggressive start to the half for NC State to equal their largest lead of the game at 10. Starting five back on the floor for Virginia Tech. Boy, do they need that. Kayla King over 3 in the first half. Knocks down her first triple.
Kayla King is one of the best shooters in Virginia Tech history. They've got to get more looks for her. When she scores 10 or more in a game, Jen, they are 27-3. They have to get her involved in the second half.
Collins. Short corner is good for Mimi Collins. She's got 4 points in the game at a career-high 25 in the Pack's ACC opener against Virginia. Wolfpack have yet to miss this quarter. Now they take it away. James, looks away and then fights for the rebound herself. Will this go against Isaiah James?
NC State foul on number 10.
Looks that way. That is her third personal.
First team foul.
And of course, we got to tell you about Ladies Night coming your way. Nothing but net. Love those, Kelly. You're a big part of that on Thursdays. After our women's basketball doubleheader, the crew will break down all of the ACC women's basketball action. Look ahead to what's coming up next. That is right here on ACC Network and the ESPN app.
I know I'm biased, but nobody covers women's basketball like the ACC Network, so stay tuned with us all season long. And you're right, Jen, Isaiah James picking up the third foul, but Westmore is leaving her in the game as of now.
Well, she had to sit so much of that first half. So Westmore willing to roll the dice a little bit here, keep his leading scorer on the floor.
James has more fouls than Virginia Tech as a team.
Just 2 fouls against the Hokies in the first half, and Mimi Collins starting to heat up.
NC State is shooting lights out, nearly 50% from the floor. Virginia Tech's got to get a hand in the face. Make them put the ball on the floor. Just be a little more aggressive when you're guarding the ball, because NC State's getting the looks they want.
This is a good look here, and a good finish for Matilda Eck. You're right, though. This quarter in particular, NC State 6 of 7 from the floor. There's a contested shot, but a foul on Amor as Zoe Brooks will go to the line.
Zoe Brooks using her size advantage on Amor. This was a nice play by Matilda Eck. Georgia Amor has struggled to shoot it today. She's 1 for 10. Other players have to step up. We've seen Kayla King hit a 3. We just saw Eck there. Virginia Tech's going to need more from those two.
Remember NC State coming off an overtime victory. They held on to that unbeaten record just barely on Thursday night with an 88-80 win against Florida State. River Baldwin going out end of the third quarter. Zoe Brooks really stepped up. She made some big baskets, including from the free throw line, to help the Wolfpack get out of that one alive. Kitley.
That's what you want to see, attacking the rim. Virginia Tech has missed at least 5 layups tonight.
Oh, catch me if you can! Zoe Brooks taking it all the way.
Number 35 in the goggles. There's a reason why. She's the highest-ranked signee in NC State history, the number 3 player in this freshman class.
And is that the bucket that gets Georgia Amor going? The senior averages 17 points a game. She has 5. From the corner, not on target for Collins. Hokies on the run. They want to run, something they've been trying to do since their loss to LSU earlier in the season. And it results in an Amor 3.
The Hokies are not getting back in this game without Georgia Amor, and that's 5 straight points from one of the best guards in the country.
5 from Amor, 6. Run for the Hokies, and they're getting the ball back.
This game, NC State took some momentum. Virginia Tech's fighting back to stay in it. Zoe Brooks, one of the best freshmen in the country, goes coast to coast Makes it look easy, but Georgia Amore, she said not so fast. We've got a good one here in Blacksburg.
ACC PM with Mark Packer and Taylor Tannenbaum, weekdays coming your way from Mark Charlotte's studio in his basement. That's at 4 Eastern. They're going to keep talking some college football. Of course, they've got you covered on college hoops as well. They'll have the latest from all around the conference. That's right here on ACC Network and the ESPN app. Talking a lot of women's hoops this week. Get ready for this matchup in particular, Kelly. What a game this is between these two teams. NC State number 3, Virginia Tech number 13 in the country. And NC State had opened up as much as a 13-point lead in this quarter. Big block there by the Wolfpack. A couple of threes, though, have helped the Hokies back into it.
Virginia Tech 2 for 2 from beyond the arc in this quarter. The way they're going to get back in this game, I think, is with a heavy dose of Amore and Kitley, but also they got to knock down some threes.
Madison Hayes with 14 points in the game, 6 to shoot. She'll take it. Why not?
Madison Hayes has been tremendous in this basketball game. 17. That was a 2, by the way. I think they'll review that. But right now, 17 and 7 for Hayes.
Zoe Brooks acknowledging, yep, my bad. She commits the foul, her first.
They gave her 2. So, yeah, that was a 2-point basket. A long 2 for Hayes. She's been great, though. So efficient.
Yeah, one off her season high with 16 points for Madison Hayes. The lead back to double digits for NC State. Olivia Summiel, transfer from Wake Forest, into the game for the Hokies again. Kitley always has to have her head on a swivel. Where is the defense coming from? Zoe Brooks! Oh my! Foot on the accelerator, can't be stopped.
Zoe Brooks, this is a special talent. There's a reason why she was a McDonald's All-American, and she's been really good defensively on Amore as well, by the way, but made some great plays in transition.
Helps the defensive effort here, gets tapped away but stays with the Hokies. Amore pulls up, and Kitley cleans it up off the glass.
Jen, give Elizabeth Kitley credit. She's had a tough game shooting the ball, 6 for 15 from the field, but she just keeps going, trying to keep the Hokies within striking distance.
Has her 67th, let that sink in for a minute, 67th career double-double, 16 points, 10 boards for Kitley. Collins, 5 on the shot clock, going up against Kitley. Summiel going for the rebound, I think is going to get called for the foul here.
Madison Hayes just relentlessly went after that rebound. They called Summiel for the push-off, basically saying she pushed off while boxing out. And that call was made because of Madison Hayes' effort on the offensive glass.
Collins, easy look, but can't finish it off the inbounds play. That was a gift. Amore, open, off. Summiel, she has been working hard on the glass for the Hokies this season. Amore turning the corner, opens up some space for Liz Kitley.
Excellent pass from Georgia Amore. There aren't any other players in the country that I've seen that dribble under the basket as much as Amore. She gets under the rim and then she makes decisions.
Virginia Tech foul number 5, Georgia Amore.
And what a battle this is on both ends of the floor. Amore and Brooks guarding one another. Amore committing the foul this time as Brooks put the ball on the floor.
Zoe Brooks is so calm, Jen.
Yeah.
It's like she's played in, 20 of these games, 20 of these top 15 matchups when she really hasn't. I mean, she played Colorado and UConn, so that got her ready for this.
NC State, the only team in the country with 2 wins against teams in the top 5. And the crowd appreciating that defensive effort of their All-American Kitley.
Such good defense by Liz Kitley. Staying with her hands up, moving her feet, not bodying Collins. Well done inside.
10 seconds on the shot clock, so plenty of time for Sanaya Rivers to work with. There is a foul like Kitley would have had the block covered, but I think Kayla King picks it up first. That's her second personal. That is the 4th team foul. Didn't get anywhere near to having anyone in the bonus in the first half. Sanaya Rivers shooting foul. We'll have 2 free throws coming up. Sanaya Rivers, one of those really versatile players. She and Alyssa Usby, both, Kelly, would fall into that category.
The only players in the ACC in the top 20 in all those categories: points per game, assists per game, rebounds per game, and steals. That is incredible. Sanaya Rivers can do it all.
Alyssa Usby and North Carolina traveling to South Bend, take on 16th ranked Notre Dame later today at 5. Amor under the basket, up and in. Georgia Amor starting to find her way into this game for Virginia Tech.
She's got 10 points now. The Hokies are hanging around, Jen. But here's the difference. They're able to get things going offensively. They have to buckle down defensively. NC State is getting what they want on the offensive end. If the Hokies don't get more stops, they're not going to get back in it.
Under a minute to play in the third quarter. Lacey Steele back in the game. Hit a couple of big threes. Now hits one from the ACC logo in the paint. She's got 8.
It just feels like Virginia Tech is not preventing NC State from doing what they want to do offensively. NC State has looked too comfortable offensively all night.
This has been the Georgia Amor show in the third quarter. She is almost single-handedly keeping Virginia Tech in this one. But you're right. What can the Hokies do on this end? NC State shooting nearly 66% in the third quarter. Miss there from Brooks. A chance for the final shot for Virginia Tech at the quarter.
That's what Virginia Tech needs to do. Force NC State to take long jumpers, prevent them from getting to the rim. That was a good possession for them defensively.
Oh, Amor wanted to dish it off, but Zoe Brooks was wise to it.
Great
Shot doesn't get off in time, but NC State has the lead heading into the fourth quarter.
Zoe Brooks reading Georgia Amor's eyes and presenting a bucket there. And then here's Zoe Brooks on the other end, getting it done at the rim. Mimi Collins, the depth for this NC State team is unparalleled. Stick around for this fourth quarter. Zoe Brooks is just a freshman, but she has made a huge impact on this game, has been excellent in transition, coast to coast, getting to the rim and finishing over 6'6" Liz Kitley. She's impacted the game on both ends of the floor, has been guarding Georgia Amor, and has looked like the moment is just fine for her. It's not too big. She's only a freshman, but she acts like she's been playing in games like these her whole life, Jen.
And this is a big game. As we all knew it would be, coming on the road here at Virginia Tech. What a test for this unbeaten NC State team. Here we go, final quarter coming up for you from Blacksburg. And right off the bat, NC State takes it away from Virginia Tech. And look who's the first down the floor.
I mentioned that Brooks has been guarding Amor. Amor got going in the third quarter, so Sanaya Rivers has started on Amor defensively. A little more length from NC State on Amor.
Hayes is hammered on that shot attempt. 9 points for Georgia Amor in that third quarter. Madison Hayes has certainly been a big part of this game today for NC State as Sunmeal picks up her third foul. Madison Hayes has that title of glue player. Asked Wes Moore about that a couple of games ago. But sometimes those glue players don't have the numbers to go with it. They just do all the little things. Well, she's doing all the big things too in this game in particular. 18 points, 7 rebounds. Kitley. As good as she is at that fadeaway, NC State will take that. An empty possession down the floor. Brooks cutting the lane. Got past Kayla King, but Amor comes away with it. Ferrari speed. You know she loves that bounce pass between the legs behind her. Hasn't gotten the assist for it yet in this game, though she's tried a couple times. Kitley going to work in the paint. That is better.
Liz Kitley does not get discouraged. She struggled on that previous possession. They go right back to her, and she goes right back to one of her moves. But I really liked it how she did put the ball on the floor there, made Collins guard her a little longer.
20 points, 10 rebounds, right about her average for Liz Kitley in this game, trying to keep Virginia Tech close. Collins says,
Massive shot. NC State, their depth is so good. You have Madison Hayes beating you. You think you can, okay, maybe I'll give Mimi Collins a 3. Maybe I'll take that. No, you won't. She makes it. They just keep coming at you with different weapons.
Amor! 9 in the third quarter, 11 now since halftime, 14 in the game, and Virginia Tech's made 5 of their last 6.
This game will be decided on the defensive end for the Hokies. They have to get some stops.
Hayes off the screen, another 3 goes down, and Kenny Brooks needs a timeout.
Timeout Virginia Tech.
Wow.
Timeout on the floor.
The depth from this team. There are so many different players that can beat you for NC State. First it was Mimi Collins, then Madison Hayes. 21 points for the seniors.
When you talk about this NC State team, Kelly, you have to talk about their balance, and it has been on display in this game today.
Isaiah James only has 4 points, and River Baldwin is out with injury, and other players have stepped up. Madison Hayes, who does average double figures, of course, has 21 points in this game, a career high for her. Jen, when you talk about the balance on this NC State team, it reminds me of their ACC championship teams that Westmore has had, those 3 straight ACC titles. It's a similar makeup.
Amor, a little short on the shot. High expectations for this NC State team that, might I remind you, was unranked in the AP poll in the preseason, became the first team in the history of that poll to make the top 5 with being unranked in the preseason before the end of November. Rivers a little short on her drive. King fighting for the basketball, and look, it is crunch time right now for Virginia Tech because this team, very high expectations as well for Kenny Brooks. Preseason pick to win the league for the first time after winning their first ACC tournament championship last year. To try to find a way, and I think especially, as you've said a number of times, on the defensive end,
right,
keep NC State from getting too far ahead. Rivers out of bounds. It'll be Virginia Tech basketball.
And that's good defense from Wenzel on Sanaya Rivers, using the baseline as a second defender. That's the stop they need. Now let's see if Virginia Tech can capitalize on the offensive end.
Karis Baker, Carly Wenzel both on the floor for Virginia Tech at the moment, along with Georgia Amor. Kitley against Collins.
That's a good look.
Yeah.
She went to the rim, just missed the layup. Virginia Tech has missed 6 or 7 layups today, and that's been the difference in this game in many ways.
King defending Brooks, takes it away. Wenzel is waiting for help. Amor came streaking down the left. Kitley cleans it up again.
I think Wenzel was looking for a shooter, but then realized she was so far ahead, she just needed to attack. And of course, Kitley just tirelessly working to get those offensive rebounds.
22 in the game for Liz Kitley. The crowd loud here in Cassell. It is the first regular season sellout in the Kenny Brooks era. And we have to pause for a moment because Isaiah James went down awkwardly. You see she's got her left calf wrapped. There's no foul on the play. The officials were just right there next to Isaiah James. The NC State ball on the sideline.
Looked like an ankle for Isaiah James, but she seems to be telling the coaching staff she's fine. Don't even think about taking me out.
8 seconds on the shot clock. 9-point lead for NC State. Brooks. It's got to go. Off balance shot, out of bounds. She says it's tipped. Officials say shot clock violation, so Virginia Tech back in possession. NC State absolutely dominated this series early on. They won 22 of the first 23 meetings. Virginia Tech, though, had their first season series sweep last year. Amor spinning, finishing for Virginia Tech.
My goodness, Georgia Amor. That was an incredible move inside for the Aussie.
And now she's got to get back on defense. Slows down Brooks just enough. Wenzel comes up with it.
You've got numbers. Virginia Tech has numbers here.
Karis Baker for 3.
They've missed those opportune threes, those threes that could change the game, that could bring the house down. They just haven't been able to convert those threes. But look at this play from Georgia Amor. What is this, Georgia Amor? Spin on the block, going to the right, and the tough finish.
I think scoring mode has been activated in Georgia Amor. Sometimes she's more in assist mode, but she is ready for this fourth quarter. Oh, that one would have been a crowd silencer for sure. Doesn't go down for James.
Another stop for Virginia Tech. Under 5 minutes, you cannot waste a possession.
NC State has missed their last 4, leaving that door open. Georgia Amor running through!
Georgia, she has that clutch gene, Jen. The moment is never too big for Georgia Amor. 5 straight points, and the Hokies are within 4.
7-0 Virginia Tech run. Crowd trying to help this Hokie team get it done against one of the 4 remaining unbeaten teams in the country. But Georgia Amor feeling it now for Virginia Tech, trying to get the Hokies back in this one.
Georgia Amor has come to play in this second half, showing why she's one of the best players in the country. She has 16 points since halftime, and she's done it in a variety of ways. She's knocked down threes, she's gotten to the rim. Frankly, she's taken over this basketball game, gotten Virginia Tech back in the game, and the crowd back in it, Jen.
That dynamic duo of Georgia Amor and Liz Kitley have been carrying the bulk of the load, as you can see, for Virginia Tech. Will it be enough to catch NC State? We've got 4.5 minutes to find out. Hayes driving, blocked by Kitley.
Big time defensive stop by Liz Kitley.
7-0 Virginia Tech run. Amor picked up her dribble, got in a little trouble. That's a good place to go. Inside to Kitley. Takes her time, draws the foul, and will make her first trip to the free throw line today.
And there's Kitley getting to the rim, Jen, making them guard her. Here's Kitley on the other side. That's perfect right there. Hands straight up, all ball, and Virginia Tech's off to the races, using her pump fake, taking that contact and getting to the free throw line, but misses the first free throw.
And Kitley is an excellent free throw shooter. She's at about 84% for the season. Virginia Tech as a team is first in the ACC in free throw percentage when they get to the line. Haven't been there much today. 3-point game. Sanaya Rivers all the way to the rim. Virginia Tech with a chance to tie.
NC State taking some quick shots. If I had this kind of lead in this situation, I think I would take a little more time on offense.
8-0 run.
The ceiling would have come off this place if she hit that.
Whoops.
She said, my bad Hokie fans.
Well, and that's what you love to see, right? She's feeling loose. Yeah, it's a big moment, but she can handle it. I mean, this is your reigning ACC tournament MVP, most outstanding player in the regional when the Hokies went to the Final Four last year. NC State started 2 for 2 in this quarter, have missed their last 6. James still can't get it to go, and that is number 4 on Mimi Collins.
And Liz Kitley's defensive presence made Isaiah James pull up. Instead of taking it to the rim, she pulled up for a tougher jumper. And then, of course, the Hokies doing a great job grabbing the rebound and drawing a foul.
Each team with just 2 team fouls as we get into 3 minutes and change to go in this one.
Collins has 4. It feels like Liz Kitley's got to get a touch.
Amor. That's
or
not a bad option either.
Georgia Amor does defy logic, so that also makes perfect sense.
10-0 run. Hokies within 1. Under 10 now for NC State. Sanaya Rivers out to James. Shot fake into the lane. Zoe Brooks was there, but Virginia Tech has it.
The Hokies have stepped it up defensively. They just made Isaiah James take a very tough shot. They've held NC State scoreless for 5.5 minutes.
Virginia Tech has never led in this game. Kitley had a chance to take the lead right there. Zoe Brooks, open look in the corner, won't go. NC State stays cold. Timeout on the floor. Under 2 minutes to play. What a game in Blacksburg. Virginia Tech outscoring NC State 14-4 in this 4th quarter. What do you think they're talking about in that huddle, Kelly, that they want to do to finish this one out and knock off NC State, something no one has been able to do yet this season?
Well, they have to keep up the defensive intensity. That's how they got back in this game. It's been Virginia Tech on defense, forcing NC State to take bad shots. On the offensive side, I still think you got to get Kitley a touch on every possession, make Mimi Collins guard with 4 fouls.
Yeah, NC State starting this quarter made their first 2 shots. They've gone 0 for 9 since. That has allowed Virginia Tech to climb back into it on a 10-0 run, 1-point game.
This is what it's all about, Jen. This game has been so good, back and forth, sellout crowd in Cassell Coliseum, a top 15 matchup. This is ACC basketball for you.
NC State got away with a single-digit quarter in the 2nd quarter. They had 9 points. I think they need a few more to get out of this 4th quarter with the win. Baker! Offensive rebound. Amor! If you could feel it in this arena, there they go! Kitley gives the Hokies their first lead of the game.
Offensive rebounding. Virginia Tech has been better grabbing O-boards in the 2nd half. None bigger than that one by Kitley.
This NC State team really being tested now. 12-0 Hokie run. Amor nearly took it away. 5 seconds on the shot clock.
I don't think Zoe Brooks knows.
Now she knows. She goes and gets her own rebound.
It hit the rim just in time. Wow.
She was not.
She looked over at Wes Moore and he said go. She wasn't aware.
Sanaya Rivers driving against Kitley. Karis Baker, the freshman, with a big rebound.
More great defense at the rim by Virginia Tech's All-American post player Liz Kitley.
Isaiah James just chasing Amor. Now eventually the foul is called.
NC State foul on number 10. Isaiah James, her 4th personal foul.
Virginia Tech finally took the lead on this possession. They missed 2 threes, but they continue to battle inside. And Liz Kitley comes up with the offensive rebound, giving the Hokies their first lead of the afternoon.
That was the 4th personal on Isaiah James, but just the 3rd team foul for NC State. 5-second difference, shot clock, game clock. Amor, ball in her hands. Open look for three. And timeout immediately called, so NC State can advance the basketball. 7.4 seconds to go.
Timeout, NC State.
I thought that was very smart by Westmore not to keep fouling. Play that possession out. You would get at least 4 seconds or so left. He got 7, which is ideal. And of course, you know if you get the rebound, call timeout and advance the ball, and you're going to get a very good look here if you're NC State. So I thought that was really smart, the way they played it out, Jen.
So now NC State, Kelly, with the basketball, you assume they are going to advance it here. What are they looking to do in this possession?
You're only down 1. You could get anything offensively, even a trip to the free throw line would be good. So I think you get the ball in Sanaya Rivers' hands, let her attack the rim, put shooters on the corner, put Isaiah James, even Zoe Brooks, definitely Madison Hayes stays in the game, which looks like it will. And of course, Mimi Collins is capable. Have Sanaya Rivers attack the rim and then crash the glass. You want Sanaya Rivers to shoot the ball with, I would say, 3 seconds or so to go, so you give yourself a chance for an offensive rebound.
Sanaya Rivers, the junior transfer from South Carolina, has 10.6 assists in the game. Will the ball be put in her hands?
And she is a 71% free throw shooter, so keep an eye on that as well.
NC State was pushed to the limit on Thursday against Florida State. Seminoles had a chance to win it at the end of regulation. Another timeout will be called. Kenny Brooks wants to talk things over.
It's a 30-second timeout.
And what a way to start off the day on
Wow.
ACC Network for Women's Hoops. You've got a quadruple header coming your way. Obviously, this is what got you started right here from Blacksburg. Georgia Tech and Pitt coming up next. Then you've got that Florida State team I just mentioned that pushed NC State to overtime on Thursday. Seminoles will travel to Clemson and BC Syracuse. You do not want to miss the DeAsia Fair Show for Syracuse, finishing up the day at 6.
I love the gamesmanship here. Virginia Tech waited to see what kind of set NC State would be in, and then called another timeout so they can talk about it defensively. NC State staying with the same set of Zoe Brooks inbounding the ball.
And now we'll get another timeout. Well, they each have one left after this, as you're trying to keep track at home.
I'm not sure I've seen this before. 3 straight timeouts, because this game has had such a good flow and been so back and forth. Teams haven't really used their timeout, so they each had one to give there. And you just continue to play that gamesmanship and continue to make NC State think about what they're going to do, knowing they're in the position where they have to make something happen.
NC State with a chance to win it on this final possession. 7.4 seconds left. You can bet this sellout crowd is going to let them hear it. Brooks gets it into Collins. Sanaya Rivers with the basketball for NC State. Drives against Kelly. It's good! Timeout Virginia Tech. 1.9 seconds on the clock. Virginia Tech also can advance it here.
Perfect play. Perfect execution by NC State. Get the ball into Mimi Collins. Let Sanaya Rivers get the ball with momentum, attacking the basket, and then an incredibly difficult finish for Sanaya Rivers over the 6'6" Liz Kitley with her offhand. That is beautiful basketball from NC State, and Sanaya Rivers making a big-time play.
All right, well, you called that one pretty well. So let's go down on the other end now. It's Virginia Tech's turn. Less time to work with, under 2 seconds. Where are the Hokies going?
Under 2 seconds is plenty of time to catch and shoot. I think your best bet is to get the ball to Kitley somewhere in that 15-foot range and let her either take one dribble and shoot or shoot her fadeaway, because you don't have that much time. If you had more than, and they just reset to 2.1 seconds. If you had more time than that, I think I would go Amor. But in this situation, I would prefer to get the ball to Kitley and let her go quick and score. I could still see him going to Amor though, Jim, because she's so fast with it. But I would go to Kitley. Go to Kitley, let her make a play.
NC State will take their timeout to talk it over.
What's interesting though is they had Amor inbounding it. So with Amor inbounding it, that makes me think that she'll inbound it and then take a handoff and try to go to the rim and take a floater of some sort. So Kitty Brooks is a little harder to figure out, I think, in this situation. It's either going to be Kitley or a handoff to Amor. That's where I'll hedge my bet, Jim.
The last time Virginia Tech knocked off a top 3 team, it was against NC State.
Okay, he switched it up, by the way. He took Amor out. Amor's no longer inbounding the ball. She's now in the play.
So we'll see
and
how
Zoe
that
Brooks
changes.
hedging down to guard Kitley.
Woo. Here we go. Hokies inbound, go to Kitley. How much time is left for NC State? They have no timeouts. They cannot advance the ball. Looks like 9/10 of a second. Rivers will have to hoist it from the court, and Virginia Tech knocks off the unbeaten Wolfpack. Virginia Tech making a massive statement here today. Remember this game.
Wow. Wow. There's Liz's parents. There's Ralph Kitley, her dad, and her mom, and of course Raven. An incredible, that execution down the stretch, Jen. NC State to score with Sanaya Rivers, and then the lob to Kitley using Amor as a decoy. Kitley knocks down the shot. Incredible basketball. This game was epic, so good for the ACC, so good for our sport, and it was an absolute pleasure to call.
This game is what it is all about. And you said Virginia Tech should go into Liz Kitley on their final possession. That's exactly what they do.
Great job by Liz Kitley to collect herself and knock it down. And how about the pass from Kayla King? An excellent pass to her high school teammate. And Liz Kitley with the game winner, of course.
They are celebrating all around us here at Cassell Coliseum. Liz Kitley, you've had some big moments in your career. Tell us about that one.
Coach Mark called a timeout. We had something else planned. But Coach Brooks is just so good at drawing stuff up, and we work on those things in practice, so we were ready, and me and Kayla just got that connection. That's the second time we've done this, so it feels really good to do it in front of Cassell with all these people. I'm glad we could give them a win.
Liz, first of all, such a good pass from Kayla King.
So good.
And for you to catch it, collect yourself, and score, and perfect timing as well. Before the timeout, Amor was inbounding it, so there was a different play before the timeout, right?
Yes.
I love the gamesmanship we've seen in this game. What were you thinking after the timeout as you come back out knowing the ball's coming to you?
Oh, good. I mean, Coach Brooks and all my teammates give me all the confidence. There's no point thinking about it. If I think about it, I'm going to take myself out of it. So in that moment, I'm just happy that, he chose me, and I'm ready to do it.
Can you talk a little bit, too, about Georgia Amor? We were joking, saying, well, she's gone into scoring mode now in the second half, particularly in the fourth quarter. What did you see in her and how she turned it on in this game?
Yeah, sometimes she just gets a look in her eyes, and we're like, yeah, Georgia, you keep going. Like, you keep shooting, we're fine with that. But that's the beauty of this team. Like, we have different people that can step up and do that. And it was Georgia in the second half, and, we're all happy to see her do it.
The belief that this crowd had in you guys, this is your first regular regular season sellout. NC State's really good. How much did this crowd help you?
Oh my gosh, so much. They gave us so much energy and helped us keep momentum. But they kept believing in us. You know, even when Sanaya Rivers hit that shot, they were still confident in us, and we were confident in ourselves too, and that's what made the difference.
Yeah. Your family obviously enjoying this one as well. No, that was a big moment for them. But just in the bigger picture, Liz, this game, we all build it up as big. Does it feel that way to you guys too, recognizing that this one might mean a little more?
Yeah, I mean, I think we always play just such great games with NC State. They've been coming down to like the last second, and we play each other so much, so we're so familiar with each other. But to get a good win, we really needed that this year. And a number 3 win just will feel good moving forward into our next games.
Well, go celebrate. George is waiting for you.
You made a statement today. Congrats to Liz Kitley and the Hokies. The game winner right here as Virginia Tech knocks off the previously unbeaten NC State Wolfpack. We'll say so long and get you back to the studio.
Yeah, baby!
Welcome into the ACC Network studios. I am Justin Walters, joined alongside by ACC legend Ivory Latta. What did we just see? We were screaming in studio, like, wow.
I said it from the beginning, Sunday Fun Day. That was one of the most exciting games to just sit here and witness when you got 2 great players on each side taking that chance of winning for their team, and just to see that play that just happened. Oh my God, my heart is still pumping. I feel like it's as if I played the game as well too. I was so excited.
We still have goosebumps from that. It was a sold-out crowd, the first ever in Virginia Tech women's basketball history. It lived up to the billing. Walk me through that last play, because remember, there was a timeout that was called by Kenny Brooks, and that wasn't the original thing that was dialed up.
No, he didn't. He saw something that he definitely wanted to change. And when you have this play, you got your 2 best players. Amor set the screen for Kitley, and Kitley knocks it down. NC State just had that moment where they knew they had to switch, but when you got your 2 stars playing out there at the same time, greatness.
Talk about the pass. Precision by Kayla King.
Hey, that pass was on point. I mean, it hit her right in the shooter's pocket. She didn't even have to come down with it. It hit her right there. She went up, bucket. They got the win.
Speak about the resiliency that you saw from them today, because they were down by 13. It looked like NC State had the game in hand, and then here comes Virginia Tech slowly but surely.
Yeah, Virginia Tech is their experienced team. I mean, we talk about Kitley, we talk about Amor, King, other players stepped up, but they kept fighting hard. But also their crowd, playing in front of a sellout crowd, that also gives you that momentum. It helps you get back into the game. But Amor had an amazing second half. And her team fed off her eyes, as she said. When she get that look in her eyes, then they know, hey, go ahead and do what you do. And they fed off her energy in the second half.
Did she allow the game to come to her? Because you said, even during the break, you're like, shoot or shoot. It's like you had 3 points in the first half, and then the second half explodes for 18. And she was in rhythm with a lot of those shots.
Yeah, absolutely. Shooters do shoot. But at the same time, like I said, she allowed the game to come to her. She was able to get the shots that she wanted to take. I think the first half, she was pressing a little bit. She wasn't really in her rhythm. But that second half, look at that spin with the floater. I mean, she was out there being herself in the second half. And, her team just allowed her to do her. And they came out with a big win.
What does this kind of victory do for them moving forward after they upset one of the only unbeaten teams left in the country?
It does a lot for this team. Like I said, they're experienced. They're going to, look at this game, continue to learn from this game and what they need to learn more on the, the one-on-one defense. But moving forward, it just shows that any given night, anybody can step up and, help the dynamic duo get the W.
So biggest takeaway for NC State after a nail-biting loss?
Just keep their head up. They got the caliber players that can get the job done. Sanaya Rivers, I mean, that shot at the end, and if you would have seen her,
it was phenomenal.
Just seeing her face.
She went from like, oh my gosh, I made it, and then I got to go play defense.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is, they just got to stay focused. I mean, the drive was good, but the impressive shot with the left-hand shot, and it's just like, oh my God, that could have been the biggest shot of her life, even if they would have got the win. But NC State got to continue to keep their head up, continue to play hard. And the thing is with them, they cannot relax. Yes, they have a lot of young players on the team. They're missing, their post players, but they got to continue to play hard, and it's going to be the next woman up.
It was very important to note, as we saw as the second half unfolded, second chance points, and those rebounds. That's what kept Virginia Tech in the game. They wanted it more at point.
Yeah, absolutely. The first half, and we was in here screaming, Kitley, get in the paint, because that's what she's really deadly at. And they got those second chance points in the second half, and you can't allow her, and I said that at the beginning, you can't allow her to shoot and, get the rebound and get those putbacks. And other of the guards was coming in, they was rebounding, kicking out for the three, and that really hurt NC State in the second half.
Coming into this game, I'm pretty sure that our researcher mentioned about 3% of the time Virginia Tech played zone defense. It really unraveled them at the beginning.
Yeah, it really did. And, with NC State, the caliber players that they have, they like to drive. So Virginia Tech say, okay, listen, we're going to switch it up. We don't usually play zone. We're going to see how they again react. First half went to good. Second half, they went back to the man-to-man. NC State was still taking the same shots but wasn't making the same buckets as they were in the first half. Virginia Tech capitalized on it. When you got your point guard and your post player and you got King, great things have happened.
Most certainly. We already heard from one star of the game, that being Liz Kitley. Here's the other half of the dynamic duo. That is Georgia A. Moore. Let's send it back out to Blacksburg with Jen Hildreth and Kelly Gramlich.
Virginia Tech getting it done in the end. They came in need of a signature win. I think they got it today, taking down the third-ranked team. Georgia A. Moore, a big part of that. Georgia, what does this win mean to you and to the program?
I mean, it's massive. It's always a good game against NC State. I think we play them about 18 times a year. But, they're always good. They're always tough to beat. And, last year maybe they had some fire under their butts because we beat them twice. And we knew that they were going to come out strong. And they're third in the nation for a reason. But massive win for us. Top 5 win, and it's just good on the record for the rest of the year.
Yeah, massive win, Georgia. And that second half, you blew up. You had 18 points in the second half. What changed for you from first to second half?
Well, I went into the halftime and I kind of just slapped myself a few times in the face and said snap out of it because it was ridiculous at the start. But yeah, at this point, I think, they were putting it on us a bit and we really had nothing to lose, so why not?
You were down double digits in that fourth quarter, and at one point it seemed like you were right there on the comeback, right?
Yeah.
And there were a few shots that were missed, and you even laughed after one that you missed. And sometimes that happens, you feel like, gosh, we just don't have what it takes to get over the hump.
Yeah.
How did you guys all feel in those last few minutes?
Yeah, I think we just had, first and foremost, I have the utmost confidence in my teammates. So especially Karis Baker, as a freshman, she's coming in, she's knocking things down. So we really talked in the huddle and we said at this point, just play. We have absolutely nothing to lose. It's so annoying when teams come out and just throw haymakers at us, so why don't we do it to them?
Yeah, and I thought defensively was the big difference for you guys. In the fourth quarter, you needed to get stops, and you did that. How were you able to kind of turn the tide defensively?
Yeah, I think our defensive rebounding was massive, especially Kayla King a few times, grabbed a few athletic. She got up, and I was just shocked. But we got those 50-50 balls, and I think previously that's something we struggled with, but something we pulled through with right now, so that's good.
You look like you were having fun out there. I mean, you usually do, but it's so interesting to watch the different players and how they are, the demeanor. I mean, we got people with your face and name on a shirt out in the crowd. I mean, come on, right? You gotta love that.
Yeah, it's good. I appreciate it all, and it's just good to have a sold-out crowd. Regular season, it was a good game to come to, and I'm glad we pulled it away.
Yeah, we're glad to be here.
Yeah, we were glad to be here.
Very happy.
Come back anytime because you guys are good lucks. So
you got it. Hokies winners in this one.
Oh, Georgia's too funny. Did she say she was punching herself?
Oh, yeah, clearly.
Virginia Tech got after it in the second half against NC State. The Hokies got the ball into the paint, as we mentioned, scoring 22 of their 38 points in the second half close to the basket. After being held without a second chance bucket in the first half, Virginia Tech, listen to this, scored 8 second chance points, overcoming that 13-point deficit in the second half. What a win by them. Just one game down of that quadruple header.